Try it again. I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you. Go. I'm ready.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What color would you paint your dining room?
White.
What color would you paint your living room?
White.
What color would you paint the entryway?
White.
What color would you paint your bedroom?
White.
I love white. Do not get me wrong. But let's warm it up. We know that all of you want to warm up your space and that white is a bit of a hot topic these days. So we're going to tell you in this episode how you can warm up your space while still having those white, crisp walls.
All whites are not created equal. There's not only different paint companies, Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams in our town, Miller that you might have heard of, even Behr at your local Home Depot. That's something very important to remember. The most important thing that you can do to measure your paints and your whites is to get samples at home.
And you wanna make sure you look at the samples in the morning, the noon, and the night. Sometimes you can really love a color in the evening and you think that's the perfect color, and then you paint your walls and you're like, why is my house yellow? And it's because you didn't see that paint color in the morning light, and that can have a significant impact, not just your walls, but also your budget if you paint it the wrong white.
Another thing to consider before you're choosing any color, but particularly white, is your floor surfaces, concrete, carpet, dark or light, dark wood floors, especially tile. Those colors will reflect onto the walls around them with incandescent light and
natural light.
Paint comes in different finishes. You guys have heard about eggshell and satin and high gloss and flat. So here's the deal. You don't want to put flat paint anywhere that you're going to get high traffic or fingerprints because it doesn't do well with wipeability. So here's a rule of thumb. Your ceiling is flat, your walls are eggshell, and your trim is satin. Bye. End of discussion, done. That is your safe zone. Now, if you wanna have a very sophisticated space that don't have kids, children, and pets, and no human is gonna touch your walls, hell yeah, go for a flat. That's amazing, but it's gonna be more maintenance, not only with fingerprints, but dust collects on it. So your go-to is flat, eggshell, satin. Design is like putting together an outfit. Everything doesn't go with everything all the time. So, in this case, with this shaker door, with a high gloss countertop, it has a sheen. I then wanted to take the paint to be less of a sheen and flatter. Imagine if this was shiny and this was shiny and your hardware is shiny.
Teal, one thing that you are really good at because you like white walls is bringing in pops of color through unexpected moments like this bar. But the other thing you're really good at is making sure that you warm up the space with wood flooring and wood cabinetry in the kitchens and the bathrooms. Can you talk through why white is your go-to choice because of these adjacent materials?
I mean, we're both good at that, but I think, do you want to hold hands?
Sure.
We're both good at that. I think that one thing that when I say to people during the remodel process, or if they're starting a refresh, they say, what color should I paint my walls? I say, white. What color white? Well, we got to look at your natural light, how much natural light you have in your space, because that changes white dove from Benjamin Moore from one day to the next. If you have a lot of natural light, you might lend yourself to do more white dove. And if you don't have a lot of windows and natural white, you might choose something like Simply White from Benjamin Moore because it's brighter and crisper. At any rate, what I try to tell people when they're picking their wall color and I say white and they say, no, don't I need gray? Don't I need an accent color? No, we haven't even started talking about your rug, your sofa, your chairs, your accent pillows, your throw, your dining table, your wood floors. There is plenty going on in your kitchen, your bathroom, your living room, your bedroom. I can bring color in till the cows come home in a primary bedroom with walls painted white. Now, in small spaces, a really fun thing that people are seeing in paint right now is painting the trim and the walls and the ceiling the same color. Even better is putting wallpaper on the walls, picking a color out of that wallpaper and painting the trim around the windows and the door casing and the ceiling that color out of the wallpaper.
So one thing that people get wrong is they think, well, why would I paint my ceiling? Because that's gonna make the room feel smaller, and it actually does the opposite. It makes the room feel larger. So I know it's scary, but if you have a room that can be contained, meaning it doesn't flow into another room or another space where there's no great stopping point, try it and just see how you feel. We just did it in another project and it looks awesome, so just give it a try.
I know you at home might be questioning what to do with your brick fireplace or brick wall. A couple considerations would be to tile over it. That's super easy, but the product and the labor to tile over brick is expensive. So a really cost-effective way to tackle your brick wall or fireplace update is paint it. Some discussions we had on location here was, do we paint it high gloss or flat? What do we consider when we're trying to make that decision? A couple things. Number one, what high gloss materials are in the area that would compete with a high gloss paint? Not many. What's the vibe in the space? Do you want it to be a little bit more luxe and elevated or a little bit more neutral and casual? Flat paint. We felt in this location that flat paint on our brick, number one, reduced the cost of tile and labor like we had originally hoped for. We thought it was a great opportunity for us to pick a very neutral, but a little bit of color to add to the room. And we also had to work with their existing furniture until they update their whole living room. And most of us are not painting and getting all new furniture at the same time. So I think we did a really good job of picking a flat paint, kind of a light mushroom color. It works with the space. It looks really good with white oak, and it lets the texture of the brick tell its own story. So I think what we talked a little bit about today is, yes, white is our go-to, but we're not afraid of color.
Right.
And we use it in, we do massive statements in offices or tucked away rooms that are unexpected, like a powder room or an office. I love walking into a powder room and having it be wallpapered or paint like a jazzy wazzy color. I love walking into an office and it being like, wow, this is really cool. It's dark and stormy, or it's bright and fun. I love walking around the corner and seeing a bar, a cabinet, but there's ways to do subtle neutral paints. I do think that we should address, it is super trendy right now to do creamies. I am a creamy weenie. Like, I would do cream everywhere, ceilings, wall trim, everything. The key to doing cream on your walls is your entire aesthetic is all in. You cannot do cream and do waver on not having a super dialed aesthetic for your living room furniture and coffee tables. Everything needs to be dialed. White is more forgiving. We're all living in trend. We eat and diet and wear and paint and design in what you like right now. We're gonna hate everything we did on this video in 10 years. It's all gonna be horrible.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about paint. We hope you learned something new. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button.
We're talking to you, Mom.
Banana.
Subscribe and share. Can you dig it?
Banana.